Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell for more credit information.
Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to bring you a video on how you can remove late payments off your credit and increase your credit score. Now, if you are new to my channel, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I bring you information no matter where you are on your credit journey to help you improve your credit. Always, you guys, beware of scammers. In the comment section, someone is using my photo, so make sure you always, if you're answering questions or if someone is answering your questions, make sure their subscriber base matches the subscriber base on this channel, okay, when you click on their picture. Now, I also started a new business and finance channel, so it's going to show you how to make alternate streams of revenue and income. So make sure you subscribe to that channel. I will put that link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment section. So let's jump into the information. Now, when you are dealing with late payments on your credit report, number one, you have to look at your credit profile. Now, remember, nobody's credit profile is absolutely the same. So you have to look at your own situation. So you have to look at the length of your credit history, the type of accounts you have already reporting to your credit report, and what is your credit score currently to make the right decision on how you're going to approach removing late payments. So your second step is to always try to work or see if you can get it removed from the company that reported the late payments. So especially if it is credit card related, there is a law. It's called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. When it comes down to credit cards, they are required to send you your bill at least 21 days before the payment date. So you want to use that angle when you are trying to request that late payment to be removed. Now, if it's just one late payment or even two late payments, what you need to try to do is to call the company directly, speak to the customer service rep, get their name or ID number, and always ask to speak to a supervisor, because usually regular customer service reps do not have the authority many times to change that kind of reporting, but the supervisor does. So make sure you document who you're talking to, okay? So if that is unsuccessful, write down their names, especially the supervisor, and see if you can send a goodwill letter. But try to come with the angle that you did not receive your bill on time. That is a nugget. That's a gem, okay? You did not receive it 21 days before the payment date, okay? Or if you had changed your address, your information, they sent it to the wrong address, because they are required to do this by law. I want to also tell you guys, you got to beware of signing up for online billing statements. This is why these companies want you to do that, so they don't have to abide by this law. That's a back door. You're agreeing to that. That's why they have you to check that box and agree to getting online billing statements, so they're not being held accountable but for this law here. Now, the third step that you want to look at if you're not successful with that, and I'm going to give you a gem and a secret in a few minutes coming down the line, so make sure you stay and watch this full video. Say if you're looking at your credit profile, you're gonna now, if you can't remove it, you're going via through the company directly, you're gonna go through the credit bureaus. But this is how you're gonna attack it. You gotta look at the account and look at your credit score. If you're a person who have under a 700 credit score, Depending on with that account, you got to look at what is the age of that account and the history. Say that account is within 2 years, it's 2 years old, it don't have a long history, and you have other accounts with a longer history, and you might say you have a number of late payments for that account, and it's not even 2 years old or just making 2 years old. You may want to dispute just to remove that whole account, just to get it. That should be your attack, to remove that whole account, where you can attack for inconsistencies. So, and also throw in if it's a number of accounts, you want to attack with number of late payments, you want to attack for inconsistencies. So you want to look at your credit reporting across the board, all 3 credit bureaus, and see if you can find anything, because many a times it might report late for 1 month in on Equifax, a different month late on TransUnion, even the high balance amount, anything that's inconsistent, the date that it's open, the last date that payment was made, anything that's inconsistent, you want to attack it from that angle and dispute it from there. Okay, so look at your accounts, and that's the standings that you want to dispute that. And the reason why you want to continue, if you have to send a couple disputes, you want to send it certified mail, because your next recourse is to go to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and you want to submit your proof. Now, another thing, you want to attack the oldest date that it was late. Try to attack and dispute that one. Don't try to dispute everything unless you have a good reason. Say if they really did mess up how they applied your payment, then by all means put that in your dispute. But if you know you was late, and you know what you're trying to remove this for is reporting inconsistency, attack that one late payment, because many a times if you attack a one late payment, they're more apt to remove that. So try to attack the oldest late payment, and many of time the records that these companies actually have the history, whether or not that's paid, it starts to borderline 2 to 3 years. They don't keep all that data. So you want to attack it from that standpoint. And like I said, keep a record, because then you're going to submit your complaint to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that oversees all the credit bureaus and any CRA, that's credit reporting agencies, where people talk about, the 4 credit bureaus like LexisNexis, Sage Streams, and all those Innovis. They oversee all credit reporting agencies. Okay, so if you're a person with a 700 credit score and up, you got to really look at what type of account that you have, because age of credit is a really big thing for a person with a 700 credit score and better. That's what you really want to keep your eye on. That's why when you get a new credit card and you're over a 700 credit score, your score decrease, because any new account, it reduces your age of credit. They take an overall picture of all your accounts and average. So any new one decrease your age of credit, which is going to be very important for you. So what you want to do is look at the type of the account. So let's say an example. Say if it's a real estate account, you own a home, and you had late payments maybe like 5 years ago. You want to just attack that one late payment, and you don't want to try to remove that whole account. Like if you got good payments moving forward, and the first options that the company themselves won't overturn it, you don't want to try to remove that whole account. You want to look for inconsistencies. That's an account you want to stay. If you have an account that's, I'm going to say, older than about 3 to 4 years, you don't want to remove that account. And if it is like a real estate account, you gotta choose your battles. You want to try to go for the oldest payment that was missed and attack that. The same way with someone who credit score is under a 700 credit score. So if it's a credit card and those payments are really old, or if it's within even one payment with, I even say 2, you can always dispute using the Fair Credit Billing Act that you didn't receive that statement within 21 days of payment. So you need to attack it like that. But if your credit score is over 700, you want to be careful unless the reporting is really terrible and you got a number of negative payments on that account, to attack it that way. You always, even if you have a 700 credit score and above with late payments, always try to aim for the latest payment. Okay, that's what you want to do. And always send those disputes certified, because your same recourse is always to go to the Consumer Financial Credit Bureau for anything that is inconsistent. You want to show that they are in the wrong. But don't just do it after the first dispute, second dispute. With all of these situations, you need to try to remove that and send a couple of dispute letters. Definitely more than 3, maybe like 3 to 4. And then on the 5th one, you file a complaint, because you're showing that you tried to really work with the bureaus to remove this negative reporting. Okay, so that's what you want to do. But one of the claims that you can use is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, that you did not receive your bill within that 21-day period. Okay, and it's very hard for these companies to prove that. They're not sending that to you certified mail. So how can they prove that they did send that to you on time? So you want to attack it from that angle. Now, here's the gems, okay? One thing you have to remember when it comes down to late payments, there's always an alternate way to deal with that. While those late payments may be there, you want to add on positive payments. Some of y'all just keep spinning your wheels about nonsense sometimes. If those late payments is over 2 years old, it's not really affecting your credit score like that. And it won't get you denied like that. Most lenders, after 2 years, even in business credit, is not really accounting those late payments. So somewhere, the way you can increase your credit score is by adding positive payments. And here's a couple of ways to do that. Number one, I did a video on credit rent boost by adding your rental payments on from the past. You can do that with your past landlord, or even if you have a relative you rented a room for, add that on. That's going to balance out, because the system take an average of payments made. So if you can add more positive payments than missed payments, you're going to see that your payment history, which is 35% of your credit score, the largest chunk, is going to have shoot up. You're going to get that to increase because you're now adding more positive payments than you did when you have negative payments. So you can do that with credit that is really troubled credit, or if you have really good credit, over a 700 credit score, you can use that angle in that route. Also, with that, it's going to help increase your age of credit. So someone with a 700 credit score that can't use these other two ways I'm going to tell you, that's going to be the primary way. And I'm going to link the link of that video in the description. And I have a promotion code where you can get 5% off with going that route with credit rent boost. Okay. Then You can also use this other. This is for people with credit scores under 700. Adding unsecured lines of credit with and payments mean adding a credit card and showing positive payment history through that credit card. Credit cards, even if you're not using it and don't have a balance, it's going to report as being paid on time for you. If you don't use that card at all, it's just going to report positive. So you want to add on an unsecured line of credit because it's going to help. Number one, when you add that on in a report, anybody with a 700 credit score and under, you'll see an increase on average of 50 points onto your credit report. Now you got to make sure you don't have anything new negative coming up and all your open accounts are current. Meaning, like, if you got a car loan, that you're caught up on that. We're not talking about charged off accounts already or collections. Just open accounts have to be current. And so you can use unsecured lines of credit to give you positive payments, meaning revolving credit cards. So finding those, you can do that with the Victoria's Secret card, which is store credit. Very easy to qualify for. I got a video on how you can do the shopping cart trick with that, and I'll put that in the description of the video and in the comment section. So that's another avenue on how you're going to increase your score. Then the third one that'll work for both is using authorized user accounts. So having a relative report you as an authorized user who have very good payment history on their account, credit card account, and they can give you that retroactive positive payment history. But you got to just make sure if it's a credit card with that person that their utilization is under 30%, because this can be the opposite. It can bring down your credit score. But you'll see an increase on both ways because they're adding positive past payment history to balance out those late payments. But always remember, if you got an account that's over, late payments is over 24 months or 2 years, don't just start chasing your tail, you guys. Start doing the things that you can do by adding positive payments. And I also have dispute letters at my website, so you can always get those dispute letters for that, for disputing to the credit bureaus. But you want to use those tools that you can use that I mentioned to help balance out that late payment history. Remember, if you're a person that's over a 700 credit score and you have a 740, by a 740 credit score, you're getting the same interest rates that someone have at 850. So don't just die and with a 850 credit score or a 740 credit score and not use that. The most important part, y'all, is not to create a pissing contest over all of this with your credit score. You want to utilize your credit to get you the best rates. Also, you got to work on your income, okay? Because I don't care if you got an 850 credit score and you want to buy a home, but you making 20 grand a year and you're looking at a home that's 400 and something thousand. If you ain't got that cash to put down, you're not qualifying for that because you don't make enough income. So I got a business channel on showing you how to make extra income and making other streams of revenue in order to take care of that category. So you want to do this as a two-part. You want to use your strategy to improve your credit score where you are, improve your credit profile, but don't neglect that. I don't care how great your credit score is. If you ain't got that money, they ain't going to lend you nothing. You got to be able to afford it. So you want to use these things in both tandems. So just don't run around chasing late payments, especially if they're over 2 years old. Use those other techniques that I told you about to improve your credit score and go and move forward to getting assets. Stop getting liabilities. Stop buying up stuff. Many people I talk to, I don't know what I bought on this credit card. A lot of people think I just talk about how to get credit. No, I'm trying to give you strategies. Like, I ain't trying to tell you. Some people, are you trying to get people in debt? No, that's the opposite. You really just haven't listened to my content. Because first of all, I'm an investor. That's where I started from the dough. Don't ever get that twisted. And I've never been a person that just bought nonsense. It amazes me on how many people do run around here and just charge up nonsense. That behooves me. But what I'm trying to do is get your credit score up. And then now we're going to work on getting your money right. All right, because it's going to take credit and income in order to get you where you're going. And hopefully you're buying assets and not liabilities. You're not just buying cars that's depreciating in value. Hopefully you're getting into some real estate. Hopefully you're getting into buying some silver, some gold. If anybody that follow me, that's what I try to secure myself with. Securing the bag with silver and gold and buying things like that and finding other investments that's going to appreciate and not depreciate. So don't just try. If it's over 2 years old, late payments, start to try to move forward and build. All right. So I hope this was informational. If you need to contact me, you can ask me questions, put it in the comment section, or reach out to me at my website. If you have more detailed questions, it go directly to my cell phone. We also got a free hard inquiry removal package. So hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Be blessed.